Hey, welcome back to Preliminary Cowslips here. This is CLE Language Arts 7, Book 2. Once again, it's recorded live here in our room. Hope you enjoy. Okay, Language Arts 702 now, Lesson 1. Do a little bit of review about making nouns plural. If a noun ends with S, not plural, possessive, to show ownership. If a noun ends with S, how do we make it possessive?
Apostrophe.
Just add an apostrophe. If it ends with any other letter, what do we do?
Apostrophe S.
Apostrophe S. Okay, except for only two names, we just put apostrophe. What are
Jesus
those two?
and Moses.
Jesus and Moses are those two names. Good. Let's talk about the new lesson. It is participles, verbals and participles. Okay, a verb is what? A word that shows action or being. Now, what we're going to talk about today are verbals, and verbals are words that they look like verbs, but they function as another part of speech in the sentence.
No.
So I'm going to put verbs that function as nouns, adjectives, or adverbs. So a verbal is any word in a sentence that isn't really a verb. It looks like a verb, you think it's a verb, but it's actually functioning as a noun. It's naming something. Or an adjective, it's describing something. Or an adverb, and it's telling how, when, where, or to what degree on something. Okay, and then a participle is one of those verbals, but a participle is a verbal that functions as an adverb. Functions as an adverb, and this verbal that functions as an adverb will end with en, ed, or ing. So a verb, a word that's normally a verb ending with en, ed, or ing, and that functions actually as an adverb. Let's look at this first sentence. The car was flying. What's the verb in that sentence?
Was.
Good, and more than that?
Was flying.
Was flying. The car was flying. And here flying is a good old verb. The car was flying, saying what the car is doing. Let's look at the next sentence. The flying car crashed. Let's look at this word flying. It looks like a verb. Flying. Up here it's a verb. What is it here?
Adjective.
It's an adjective. Excellent. And it's modifying what word?
Car.
Car. It's an adjective modifying car, so I should not even put two lines under it. It's an adjective modifying car, and this is a participle. So here we've got a verb, a verbal, a participle. Verbals are participles. Verbals include, let me mention this so that you don't remember. Verbals include things like gerunds and participles and infinitives. So verbals include, there's more things in the verbal family. Gerunds, participles, infinitives. All we're talking about today is participles. The ones that function as adjectives. I put adverb there. The ones that function as adjectives. Can you find any participles in the next sentence? The awakened bear charged the frightened girls.
Wait.
Awakened. And what's it modifying?
Bear.
Bear. Another one in there.
Frightened.
Frightened, and it's modifying? Girl. Excellent. These end with ed. They're modifying nouns, and they look like verbs. Awake. Awake is usually a verb. Fright, or frighten. I decided to frighten him. That's usually a verb. Here, any verbals in the sentence? Risen modifies Savior, and
Fallen man.
fallen modifies men. Good. To fall, we think of that as being a verb, but here it's actually a verbal, an adjective. All right. Finally, before we close, I would like to read the spelling words to you, and you recite them back to me. On page 4, the beginning of page, top of page 4. Paralyze,
Paralyze.
antagonize,
Antagonize.
sympathize,
Sympathize.
disguise,
Disguise.
harmonize,
Harmonize.
improvise,
Improvise.
scrutinize,
Scrutinize.
criticize,
Criticize.
patronize,
Patronize.
analyze,
Analyze.
baptize,
Baptize.
jeopardize,
Jeopardize.
advertise,
Advertise.
visualize,
Visualize.
sterilize,
Sterilize.
emphasize,
Emphasize.
recognize,
Recognize.
authorize,
Authorize.
symbolize,
Symbolize.
revise.
Revise.
Okay, see with your eyes and think with your heads, and I hope you can spell those IZEs and ISEs and YZEs correctly. Carry on with your work.